Diagnose Ted Lasso.
Okay, so this is really interesting. So Ted Lasso is a really lovable guy, right? He has faith in humanity. He has faith in everybody else. Winning or losing doesn't matter. It's about the relationships that you form and all this kind of good stuff. So I think the first really interesting thing to look at is Ted Lasso's romantic relationship. So he's trying and she's trying and they're all trying so hard and it's so sad and tragic. So one of the things that I see is Ted Lasso has a almost toxic level of positivity. It's not quite toxic, but it's overly adaptive. So it's a kind of positivity that doesn't come naturally. It comes as a coping mechanism to keep some kind of really deep sadness at bay. I'm kind of in season 1, so I'm guessing we're gonna see some amount of huge trauma in his past that he had to survive from. The other really interesting thing about that relationship dynamic is that when you're overly positive, sometimes you create a situation where your partner becomes overly negative. And I wouldn't be surprised if this dynamic where like one has all the positive emotions and one has all the negative emotions is the reason that she's tried really hard to get better and nothing is working. Sometimes in relationships, what we do is we sort of divide the emotional content between us and each of us carries half of it. So my guess is that we'll discover she's depressed, he has a history of trauma, and that her depression only gets worse the more positive he gets. Sometimes what can happen is post-divorce, the depressed person can actually become normalized, and it turns out that if she's, and this is what's so sad and tragic about it, right? The easiest way for her to be happy is to actually leave Ted, which is like so tragic for Ted because Ted is holding all of the positive emotion. So interestingly enough, if you're in this situation where like one partner is overly positive, one partner is overly, let's say, ill, I think that's another way to think about it. You have a caregiver and a caretaker, then one of the most healthy things that you can do is to reverse those positions or share those positions. So the moment that Ted Lasso starts crying, his wife will start feeling better. So that was the thing that jumped out to me the most.